All right, everybody. So in this lesson, I'm going to be talking about product validation methods, and then I'm going to show you exactly how I validated the posture corrector product for the Flex Posture store. So first off, Google Trends. Google Trends is a great way to validate the trend of a certain product. So products usually go through hype cycles as more and more people start advertising them, and this is usually what it'll look like. So you can keep this image in mind. And so analyzing the Google Trends for a certain product will show you where it is in that cycle. And you want to get in at the start of an uptrend, essentially, to make sure that you profit as much as possible with each store. So you don't want to get in at the end of an uptrend. You don't want to get in if it's a clear downtrend that's forming. And so this is important to keep in mind. And you need to know what a downtrend and uptrend looks like. And those are pretty obvious. So if you don't know that, just Google it. But that's a great way to do it. Another way that you can validate a product is with AliExpress product analysis. So just the number of orders on AliExpress is a good metric for how proven a product is to sell. So for example, the posture corrector product had 13,000 orders when I first looked at it. And so I knew that it was, proven to sell essentially. Anything with 1,000 orders plus is proven to sell. However, that doesn't mean that it's at the start of a cycle, right? It could be at the end of the cycle. And that's why you need to combine all these different methods. You don't just look at the number of orders. You look at the number of orders, look at the trend, etc. And so one way that you can see the trend of the sales of the product on AliExpress is using the product analysis tab. And the product analysis tab will let you see how many sales the product is getting per day. And so that's a great way to know if it's actually selling right now. And keep in mind that the big players are not using AliExpress. So this data is incomplete. The AliExpress data is incomplete. That's why you can't put too much, you can't rely too much on just one of these validation methods. You want to put them all together and then make an overall decision. Now, another great way to validate a product is with competitor search, right? You want to find competitors. If a product is doing extremely well, there's definitely a few competitors that are selling it right now and doing well with it. And so you want to find those competitors, because if you find someone who is spending on ads and selling the exact same product that you're trying to sell, that's a really good sign, right? No one spends on ads if they don't get a return back, right? At least not for a long period of time. So if you find competitors that are spending on ads and for the same product as you, that's a great sign, because it tells you that the product is selling and it's profitable for these guys. So then all you have to do at that point is figure out, what are they doing right? What could I do better? And so how do you find your competitors? That's another great question. Facebook search is one way to do it. And so one thing that you could do is you could search on Facebook for keywords that would appear in the caption for the post, right? So for example, for the posture corrector, I would look up posture. I would look up fix your posture, slouch much, like different keywords that I see in all these different posture corrector ads. I would search them, and then I would find more competitors that way. Now, another way is you can use AdEspresso. And AdEspresso is a Facebook ad search engine, basically. So it saves a bunch of Facebook ads, and then you can search keywords and it'll pull up different Facebook ads. And so this won't always work, but when it does, it provides some really insightful information. That's what I did for Flex Posture. And I'm going to show you right after I cover all the product validation methods. So yeah, AdEspresso is a great way. Now, info and ads is another great way to get more insight, right? When you do competitor research, you can check their info and ads type. It'll tell the info and ads tab, and it'll show you whether or not they're still selling that product. Now, another great way to validate products is asking suppliers or agents to validate that product for you. So if you already have connections with suppliers in China, you can ask them for insight about products and ask, hey, how well is this product selling? So for example, I recently asked my supplier about this iWand product that I saw. I think I showed you that example in the what does a winning product look like, the eye massage wand. I asked one of my suppliers, I was like, hey, do you have any info on how well this product is selling? And he told me, I'm currently shipping out 300 of those a day. And so the fact that my supplier was sending out 300 of those a day means that some dropshipper is doing at least $300 orders a day, which translates to what, 300 times 20, so $6,000 a day in sales with just one product. So that would be a good way to validate that product, right? To me, that was a validation for that product. Asking my supplier, and he said there's 300 selling a day. And so you can combine that data, then you can go on AliExpress and then see, what's the total amount of orders per day as far as you know, and then combine that with the trend. And when you put everything together, you get a clear picture of whether or not it's a good product to jump into. So I did include a checklist for product validation. And so make sure to use it. I have a checklist. It's going to be in like the text section of the course. I don't really know how it's going to be set up, but you can just download that checklist and it's going to help you validate these products. So make sure to use it. And now I want to quickly I'm going to quickly show you exactly how I validated this posture corrector product. And so this is the product. I found it here, and now as you can see, it has 34,000 orders. So it didn't have this many when I first got into it. So I found this product. So the first thing I did is I checked the dropshipping center. And so the dropshipping center right now, all of this is different now because you know it's been a while. I was selling this like 6 months ago, so now it's probably going to have less because it's slowed down. But as you can see, the sales volume is still 200 orders a day, right? So that's not bad. 200 orders from AliExpress every single day. So clearly there's still demand for this product. But the question is there still low availability? Not as much as there was 6 months ago. But still, you know, it's selling well. Now another thing you could do is check the trend. So posture corrector in past 12 months in the United States. So when I first got into it, this is what I was looking at. I was looking at July 21st. This is when I got into it. So to me, it had been on an uptrend for, 4 or 5 months. This is exactly when I decided to test it, during this little dip. And so I was like, okay, it's on an uptrend. And hopefully this uptrend will keep going. But the fact that it's starting to be in an uptrend tells me that it could be a good product to get in. So I decided to get in here. And as you can see, surely enough, the uptrend kept going, right? Because that's how trends work. And so the trend kept going. And now, if you compare it to December to when I first got started, it's like three times in size of the search interest on Google for this product. And so it was a great time to get into this product in July 21st. And you can kind of think of this like a stock chart, right? Like, when do you want to enter? Do you think it's going to keep going up, or it's like a stock, right? If you think a stock's not going to keep going up, you don't want to buy that stock. And so it's the same thing with a product. If you don't want to enter and create a store for a product that you think is going to start declining in popularity and in trend. And so trend is also very important. Now, the other thing I did is I used Adespresso to locate my competitors. And this is really what sold me. So I think I searched back brace. And then I found a bunch of these different ads. I don't know which one I found, but I think it was this one, because this was July 10th. So this is before I started my store. And I saw this. So yeah, I saw this ad that was literally, from a few days just before mine. A few weeks before, it was just from a few weeks earlier. And I saw that this ad had 2.4 million views from like 2 weeks ago, selling the exact same product. And so let me play that ad for you. And so I saw this ad and I was like, okay, this is a pretty good sign. And so then I decided to, go more in depth. So I show video URL and then check it out, see what they're doing. And so you see 7 months ago, so this June 22nd, 2.4 million views. And it seemed like they were doing really well with it, right? And so then I checked the info and ads probably, and there was nothing to show, I think. There was nothing to show back then as well. And I think it's because these guys, they don't actually run off one main page. They just do a bunch of these health and beauty pages. But the fact that an ad had been posted from 2 weeks earlier from the same product, and I didn't think the ad was that good. That's the other thing, right? It was kind of like, it was a low quality ad. It had like a logo right here, You Daily Deal, like this, didn't look nice. The captions didn't really make sense, right? Let's see what it says. Comfortable and light to wear underneath clothes. That's not that bad, but like perfect support during walking or standing. It was just an average ad is basically what I'm saying. It wasn't that great. And I thought, you know what? I could probably do a lot better than this. And to me, this was really a big validation. The fact that it had, 19,000 likes, 2.2 comments. Seeing in the comments how many people were like, I want this. And so this was a great sign for me. Finding this competitor, that really validated the product for me. And so I think after finding this ad, that's when I decided to start my own, make Flex Posture, and then start making my own ad and start running this product. So that's how I validated the product for Flex Posture. And there's a lot of different ways to do it, but essentially you want to really make sure that every product you jump into is proven to work so that you don't waste your time on a bunch of products that are useless.